The crack of metal echoed as cuffs bit into Niomi Grant's wrists. Captain Victor Stone slammed her against the wall, twisting harder as Officer Todd Jensen sneered in her face. "Talk back again and we'll bury you with charges," he spat, laughter from nearby cops fueling their cruelty. Phones filmed, the crowd whispered, and humiliation became their weapon. But what they didn't know was the truth. Niomi Grant wasn't just another woman on the street. They had just shackled a four-star general with the Pentagon on speed dial. The crack of metal echoed as cuffs bit into Niomi Grant's wrists. Captain Victor Stone slammed her against the wall, twisting harder, while Officer Todd Jensen leaned close with a smirk. "Talk back again, and we'll bury you with charges," Jensen hissed. The alley outside Westfield Heights checkpoint reeked of gasoline and sweat. Streetlights flickered. Cars idled in a slow crawl as officers barked orders at anyone they chose. Tonight, their target wasn't a criminal. It was Niomi Grant, a black woman walking home from a charity banquet, still dressed in her Marine uniform. Victor shoved her harder into the bricks. "Fake ID, fake medals. You think you can mouth off to us and walk away?" Niomi's jaw clenched. The silver stars across her collar glimmered faintly under the light, proof of her rank. She was a four-star general, commander of the U.S. Marine Corps. But in this moment, stripped of dignity and framed as an enemy, the uniform seemed invisible to them. "Call your lawyer, lady," Jensen sneered, jerking the cuffs tighter. "See how far that gets you tonight." Phones recorded from across the street. A crowd had gathered, uneasy whispers spreading like fire. Inside the precinct, the humiliation deepened. Victor shoved her into a chair, chain clattering against the table. "You're charged with disorderly conduct, resisting arrest, and lying about military service." Niomi raised her head slowly. Her calm rattled him more than shouting could. "Everything you're doing is illegal." Victor smirked. "And who's going to stop us?" From the corner, Detective Gabriel Ortiz shifted uncomfortably. Unlike the others, his eyes lingered on her uniform, on the undeniable weight of the stars pinned there. He recognized her name, but stayed silent, knowing to speak too soon could cost him his badge. Martin Shaw, the smug city councilman behind the Checkpoint Initiative, strutted in. His tailored suit gleamed under the fluorescent light. "Another troublemaker?" he asked lazily. Victor chuckled. "Claiming to be a Marine general." Martin laughed, pulling out his phone. "Let's make sure everyone sees the kind of people pretending to serve our country." He snapped a photo, posting it with a mocking caption, "Another fraud caught at Westfield." Within minutes, it spread online. Humiliation amplified. Niomi sat unmoved, her voice calm but commanding. "Captain, officer, councilman, listen carefully. You're digging your own graves." Jensen rolled his eyes. Big talk for someone in cuffs. Niomi leaned forward. "You think these cameras are off? You think your evidence will vanish? It won't. And when this night ends, it's not my career on the line. It's yours." Victor slammed his fist on the table. "Enough! Add obstruction to her charges." But Gabriel spoke, his voice steady. "Sir, her ID checks out. The Pentagon database confirms it." The room froze. Victor's face hardened. "Run it again." Gabriel met his eyes. "I already did, twice." Niomi turned her head slightly. "Thank you, detective. Now if you'll excuse me." She tilted her cuffed hands toward her purse. "I need to make a call." Victor scoffed. "You get one call and trust me, it won't save you." Niomi pressed the speed dial, her voice crisp. "This is General Niomi Grant. Code Black, Westfield Heights Precinct." Silence followed. Then the line crackled. "Confirmed. Stand by. Pentagon response inbound." Victor blinked. "What did you just do?" Jensen laughed nervously. "She's bluffing." But outside, engines thundered. Military transports screeched to a halt. Soldiers in tactical gear poured out. The precinct windows lit with flashing blue and red as Pentagon security, federal agents, and military police stormed inside. Colonel Jackson, her aide, entered first. His voice boomed across the room. "Remove those cuffs from General Grant, now!" Victor's hands trembled. Jensen backed away. Martin Shaw's phone slipped from his grasp. Jackson's men produced files, body cam footage, incriminating emails, quota spreadsheets. Every racist slur, every false arrest, every order traced back to Martin Shaw. "Councilman Shaw," Jackson announced, "you are under federal investigation for civil rights violations." Agents cuffed Martin where he stood. Reporters, tipped off by the Pentagon, swarmed the entrance, cameras flashing as Shaw was dragged out in disgrace. Victor stammered, We didn't know." Niomi rose as the cuffs clicked free. Her voice was calm, but her words cut sharper than any blade. "You didn't care, and that's why your careers end tonight." Todd Jensen tried to speak, but Gabriel's voice carried over him. "General Grant, if I may, I'll testify. Everything they did tonight was wrong." Niomi nodded. "And you'll be protected." The press outside captured every moment as Victor and Jensen were led away, their faces pale under the glare of spotlights. Within weeks, federal indictments rolled in. Victor Stone and Todd Jensen faced charges for assault, falsifying reports, and civil rights violations. Martin Shaw's career collapsed in flames, his policies dismantled. Congress launched hearings. The evidence Niomi provided sparked national outrage. The result was the Equitable Enforcement Act, a sweeping law that banned profiling checkpoints, mandated federal oversight, and enforced transparency in every police department across the country. Detective Gabriel Ortiz became a federal agent with the FBI, honored for standing on the side of truth. Months later, in Washington, General Niomi Grant testified before Congress. Cameras from around the world broadcast her words. "This wasn't about me," she said firmly. "It was about a system built to strip dignity from those it saw as less. That system ends now, because respect is not negotiable, not for a soldier, not for a citizen, not for anyone." The chamber erupted in applause. Her calm defiance had sparked a movement. Outside, protesters carried signs that read, "Dignity is law." And in police academies across the nation, recruits studied the night of Niomi Grant, not as a story of disgrace, but as the moment arrogance collapsed under the weight of justice. If this story hit you hard, like the video, share it, and comment where you're watching from. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell, because together we make arrogance fall and dignity rise.